What's up, everyone? Okay, so former Vice President Creepy Joe Biden is under fire for allegedly he was acting inappropriate with a woman named Lucy Flores, who is a former Assemblywoman in Nevada. In 2014, she was running for Lieutenant Governor of Nevada. She had Joe Biden come down to campaign for her at a rally, and that's where she said he rubbed her shoulders or something and sniffed her and kissed her or whatever the case may be, and she was mortified and froze, didn't know what to do, and she came out and said something about it. Now, this was in the New York Times. It was in multiple publications. I read it in the New York Times, which is the holy Bible of liberalism. So this is not some right-wing conspiracy, right? She is a Democrat. This was in the New York Times. She's going after a fellow Democrat of hers, so this is not some conspiracy theory that I read out of Breitbart or something like that, or wherever you want to say promotes propaganda, right-wing propaganda. So this is something from the left. I know timing is the issue. People are saying, oh, well, look at the timing of it. Obviously it has to be fake. And it's like, well, yeah, was the Kavanaugh situation fake? Was the 15 women who came out and said Trump, tried to rape them or something, and then they all disappeared once he won? Was that fake? Was the Clarence Thomas situation with Anita Hill fake? What about what's going on with the Justin Fairfax in Virginia? I always confuse him. Is he the lieutenant governor or the attorney general there? I can never remember. I think he's the attorney general who is being alleged he beat up his girlfriend and raped two different women. There's no timing about that, right? And I don't see the left being outraged about that. Their governor over there admitted to wearing blackface, and so did the lieutenant governor or something, caught up in racial stuff, and I don't see a big outrage. I don't see them yelling, hey, hey, ho, ho, such and such has to go behind that. What about the alleged rapper Cardi B who admitted that she would take men home or take them to a hotel after a night of stripping, and she would drug them and rob them and probably have sex with them too as well. I mean, she, who knows how many miles she accumulated in her lifetime. I don't see any outrage behind that, right? And now here you have Creepy Joe. He has a long history of this type of behavior. You can see all the videos on YouTube of him doing this with little girls. I'm a little shocked because this woman, Lucy Flores, was 35 at the time, and that seems a little too old. 35 years old for Joe Biden, that's kind of like it's kind of like a cougar for him, right? Women half his age, that's way too old. He likes his girls between the ages of 8 and 12, according to all the videos I've seen of him being super creepy with these little girls. Some of them looked like they were younger than eight, and he's sniffing them and touching them. It's like, what are you touching them for? I don't understand. Maybe I'm just weird like that when it comes to the opposite sex. You just don't touch them in any way. It's just you feel awkward about it, right? I never, little girls, even grown women, I don't touch them like that. Like boys, I pick them up, body slam them, drop an elbow, put them in a figure four leg lock. Me and my coworkers are always punching each other and pushing each other and putting each other in headlocks and stuff. It's yeah, we're boys. That's how we behave. It's how we socialize with each other. That's fine. But with girls, you pretty much keep your hands to yourself. You don't touch them. You know what I mean? You don't touch them at least unless that's the type of relationship you have with them. Unless it's okay to do that. And that's something you would know already. It wouldn't be a problem. But Joe just seems to be able to reach out and touch someone at any point in time. He doesn't care. No one's elbowed him and say, Joe, try to keep your hands to yourself in this function, in this event, because they're onto you. He's just a super creep. The way he behaves. I don't know if he's doing this because that's just the way he is. Maybe that's just how he is, and he doesn't mean anything by it. And that's just his behavior, or he's doing it because he's a creep. But either way, it's no one has told you not to do this. You haven't heard from anyone, no one in your lifetime told you that you shouldn't behave like that it's a little creepy. I don't think he can control himself. So, yeah, but I want to see if anybody will hashtag believe all women, hashtag me too on this moment. The left, it's a little weird with them because at times they protect their own, especially now because he's running for president, might be running for president 2020. So they don't want to say anything. But usually, the left, it's weird, because sometimes they eat their own, sometimes they protect their own, and they have to pick and choose where and when, because it's all manufactured outrage. That. It's all, they pick and choose, and it's selective anger, and they choose when they should be angry and when they shouldn't. And they eat their own, but they protect their own at the same time. And it's well, this is pretty simple. Right now, they can't eat their own with Joe Biden because he might be running for president, and they say that he has the best chance of winning the primary and then maybe beating Donald Trump, which if that's the best chance you have, Joe Biden, then you guys might as well just pack it up and go home. It's over with. You should never run for any public office ever. You should just resign because your party completely sucks if Joe Biden's your best chance. So But you know, he's a middle of the road Democrat, and recently he's been like going way more, you know, way out to the left a lot more into the progressive waters in order to attract that side of it, because he realizes that his party is split now between progressive and moderates, and the progressives are going to win. They're gonna beat out the moderates, and you're gonna have more progressive Democrats than moderate Democrats, and he sees this coming. So what did he do? He recently said if he runs, he might choose as his running mate Stacey Abrams, a black woman from Georgia who failed at becoming the governor of Georgia. He was gonna ask her. Now she's a progressive, and you know she checks a few boxes. She's a woman, and she's a woman of color, so there's a couple boxes she can check, and also she's progressive, so he could try to, you know, get that aisle out there, you know, that aisle of people, try to pull them in. And then he put out some recent statement about white males, about the culture of whiteness and white males and whatever. It was just a really stupid, you know, which is a real stupid thing to say about the way he handled the Anita Hill situation. I mean, you know, it's just funny. Again, you know, it's timing. You know, Anita Hill came out right when Clarence Thomas was picked to be Supreme Court Justice. Now all of a sudden a woman comes out and says he raped me, or he tried to rape me, or whatever. It was a big circus show about that whole situation, and it was all timing. We know that it was all bullshit. Anita Hill's, you know, lied. Just, you know, she was put up there by the Democrats just to knock him, to prevent him from becoming a Supreme Court justice, because he's a conservative and they didn't want to give a point over to the conservative side. So, you know, with the left, they pick and choose when they should attack and when they shouldn't, and it's all based on whatever works for them. You know, if I was a member of the left and I broke one of their social norms, one of their esoteric and draconian social laws that they have, you know, they'll attack me because I'm a complete nobody. I can't really help their cause in any way. I can't help or hurt them. So they'll come after me and they'll attack me, but they can't do that to Joe Biden at the moment because they need him. So, you know, he's just a useful idiot. You know, they're all a bunch of useful idiots. It's just a matter of who is more useful, you know, and the one who's more useful gets to stay. The least useful will attack you. We'll eat our own. So this is the game that they play. Everybody knows this. Like, we've been on to them for a long time now. The only ones who don't know about this are them themselves. They're the only ones who have no ability to self-reflect and see how they act and see how they behave and see how they think and how it's all flawed. They think they have the moral high ground. They don't. You know, they're just lost souls, to be honest with you. That's why I walked away from them a few years back. So Joe Biden is, you know, just creepy Joe once again, doing what he does, and that's it. Nothing to see here. You know, go home. That's it. Move on, folks. Joe Biden will not be called out from the left. They'll sweep it under the rug. They'll act like it never happened. They won't be outraged. They won't go after the alleged rapper Cardi B for her behavior towards men and what she's done. You know, you do see some people being fair about it and wanting to call her out, but you know, we're just regular everyday Joes, not the creepy Joe, but just regular, you know, Joe Blow, who's online and just whatever, giving our opinion, our thoughts online, but you don't see this collective effort to like ruin her career and have her music stripped down, you know, off the radio and have the companies, you know, just pretty much take her whole catalog and dump it, so this way, you know, she'll never ride again. So no, you don't see that, and you won't see that, because this is the behavior of the left, and you know, they can't. The left don't know what to do right now, because she's a woman of color, so they don't know what to do. She ranks higher on the list of you know, with oppression points. So it's like, well, what do we do now? How do we attack the situation? It's like, we just let it go. You know, we let it go. She's a beloved celebrity. She's a woman of color, and she promotes this whole sexuality stuff, and they love sex so much that the left, you know, everything is raised against sexuality, and then even just the physical form of sex that they love so much. So then, you know, she promotes that lifestyle of this whole free sex and just be a whore pretty much. So the left's not going to do anything about it. They're just going to let it go and act like it never happened. So I mean, this is you know the typical low-hanging fruit of morality that the left has. So pretty much nothing new to report, and that is it. So please like, comment, share, subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. I'm gonna go put Rufus Boy here to bed. He looks a little sleepy. So, and that's it.